Hari Om kids! Today's topic of Bal Sanskar Kendra is Acharya Sridhar Swami. Sridhar Swami was born to a Brahmin family around the year 1100 in accordance with Vikram Samvat or the Hindu calendar. During his childhood, his brain was not fully developed, hence he had a mental disability. However, when he committed to God and spiritual practices, he overcame the disability and became a great commentator, Sridhar Swami. It became possible due to continuous practice of walking on God's path. He wrote a commentary on the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. While writing, he cut off the verse Yogakshema Vahamyaham from the Bhagavad Gita and wrote Yogashem Dadamiham. And he thought that he could write the explanation later after coming from taking a bath in a reservoir. In that time frame, little Krishna, in the form of a child, brought a bundle of rice dal, mixed khichdi, and said, "There is no khichdi in your house for tonight. Here, take it and lighten my burden." Sridhar's wife was stunned. After conversing with this child, she started wondering and thinking deeply. Then she looked at the child carefully and said, "Oh, your lip is swollen. Who slapped you on your face?" "Your husband, Sridhar Swami. And then he went to take a bath, and now I'll go." Later, when Sridhar Swami returned after bathing, his wife said, "A young and fragile-looking boy came and brought khichdi for you, and you slapped him on his face?" Listening to his wife's conversations in details, it did not take long for Sridhar Swami to understand that Nanda Nandan had come to explain to him how wrong it was that he had crossed out God's word, Yogashem Vahamiham, and written Yogashem Dadamiham. Sridhar Swami's commentary on the Gita is very well known. Pujya Dada Guru Sri Leelashaji Maharaj also used to listen to his commentary, and our Gurudev has also read it. Remembering Pujya Gurudev, let us begin today's Bal Sanskar Kendra.
Firstly, all the children will stand in their respective places and jump a little on their tippy toes. Now all the children will chant Om. Children, now we will do TRATAK. TRATAK increases our concentration and memory power.
Once the king of Vijayanagar and his special minister strolled on the moonlight terrace, engrossed in conversation. The king inquired, "Minister, you often assert that satsang can lead to all achievements, but what can a person lacking intelligence, plagued by bad luck, and devoid of possessions gain from satsang?" The minister replied, "Your Majesty, irrespective of how wretched a person may seem, satsang has the potential to elevate them." The king pondered and remarked, "Even so, he must possess wisdom." The minister reassured, "Certainly, intelligence is beneficial, but even without it, satsang can bestow everything." As they spoke, they noticed a boy descending the stairs, clutching shoes in both hands. The moon's reflection glistened in the shoes. The king beckoned the boy and inquired, "What is your name, and what are you carrying in your shoes?" "I am Sridhar Swami," the boy responded. "My mother instructed me to fetch oil, but there was no container, so I'm using my shoes." Listening to the boy, it appeared that even the most irrational individuals were more sensible. A madman would not transport oil in his shoes. The king challenged the minister, saying, "Minister, now work your magic. Now." The minister complied. "Of course, Your Majesty." He summoned the boy's parents and declared, "We shall provide you with your sustenance and take your son to satsang." The boy received a mantra and diligently performed all the required mantra rituals.
Japad siddhi, japad siddhir na sanshayah.
Through continuous repetition, their conscience was purified and divine greatness blossomed within. During his practice, the boy's mind became influenced, leading him toward devotion to God. Eventually, he married, but tragedy struck as his wife passed away shortly after giving birth. Sridhar Swami believed, "God has summoned my wife to his embrace and granted me an opportunity for devotion." He devoted himself to daily readings of the Gita, Bhagavad, Puran, and much more. Adhering to his routine, he also cared for the infant. As the intensity of his practice grew, so did his inclination towards renunciation. He contemplated leaving the child, but realized, "How can I abandon this young one alone? Who will care for him?" An incident transpired unexpectedly. A bird had built a nest in a metal roof above him, but the bird had left. The baby bird in the nest fell to the ground with a thud. The egg had just hatched, and its wings had not yet fully developed. It was midday, and the bird's mouth was open and closed as if it would perish. Sridhar pondered, "What will become of this unfortunate creature? Let's witness what the Lord of the world does." He watched as a pair of flies engaged in fierce battle. Miraculously, they collided in such a way that they entered the bird's mouth, causing it to close its beak and fill its stomach. Sridhar exclaimed, "This is it. The divine orchestrator manipulates flies to save the life of a bird's offspring, transforming them into birds. You inspire the flies, the bird, and even my heart, blessing me with boundless wisdom." Sridhar contemplated, if God can arrange for the salvation of a bird's offspring, won't he care for a human child? With that conviction, he left the child behind and departed. The child received an extraordinary upbringing, initially under the care of a single father, but soon by the entire village.
अजगर करे न चाकरी, पंछी करे न काम, दास मलूका यूं कहे, सबका दाता राम.
The python does not toil, the bird does not labor. Das Mulaka says, this Ram is the giver of all. Sridhar Swami journeyed to Kashi, where he immersed himself in Vedanta and contemplation and meditation. His devotion grew immensely. Ultimately, Acharya Sridhar Swami became a renowned saint who authored a commentary on the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The minister's word had proven true. Satsang had taken him far and wide. Children, remember that no matter how wretched someone may seem, even if they have been ridiculed by fools, Satsang can transform them into a great individual, revered by kings, emperors, and even gods. God can become their servant. Such is the power of Satsang. एक कड़ी हाथी कड़ी आधी में पुनिया तुलसी संगत साधकी हरे कोटि अपराध.
Glory of Indian culture. Importance of Kirtan. Children, you must have done Kirtan of God's name. It's satsang. Do you know why we do Kirtan? Chanting of God done with devotion destroys all sins. Scientist Dr. Diamond experimentally proved that by listening to rock and pop music, dancing to these tunes, our vitality is diminished. A healthy person's hands can lift a weight of up to 40 to 45 kgs. But a person who listens to rock and pop music, his capacity is reduced to lift only 10 to 15 kgs. Whereas Indian classical music and Hari Kirtan leads to rapid development and increased vitality. Thousands of millions of years ago, our sages taught that by doing Hari Kirtan, the body and mind get healthy and sins get destroyed. Everyone should do Kirtan with clapping, dancing in the spirit of God. Unintentionally, they get the result of acupressure therapy also. Their life becomes rhythmic, the disorders of the mind, sorrow, grief, etc. get destroyed, and they drink the nectar in the form of the name of Lord Krishna. That is why Tulsidas ji has said, consume the medicine in the name of Ram with true intention. Organ diseases should not be spread. The diseases should be eradicated.
Guruji, who are atheists and who are theists? Answer. One who believes in the existence of Bhagwan, acknowledges the power of the divine, follows truth, discipline, and good conduct, and strives for ultimate happiness in both this world and the afterlife, is considered a theist or an astic. Those who do not believe in Bhagwan and the afterlife are termed as non-believers, Nastic. Non-believers are deprived of the invisible support of Bhagwan. Just as a person who denies the authority of the government and commits a crime may face the consequences of punishment and police action, similarly, not acknowledging the afterlife leads to experiencing the consequences of fine and nasty deeds. Get ready for the questionnaire. What tampering did Sridhar Swami do to Bhagavad Gita for which Bhagwan Shri Krishna himself came to correct? How did Sridhar Swami transform from a fool to a great scholar? Why did Sridhar Swami believe that God nurtures all living beings? What is the benefit of doing Kirtan? What are the harmful effects of listening to rock and pop music and disco dancing? Define a theist and an atheist. Children, next week's session will be about Matru Putra Pujan Divas. This week, we will support the divine work of Pujya Gurudev. and we will inspire others to celebrate Matru Putra Pujan Divas instead of Valentine's Day. Celebrate Matru Putra Pujan Divas with parents at your nearest center, school, locality, or at home.
Narayan, 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 Narayan. With this, today's Bal Sanskar class concludes. We will meet again next week with a new knowledge-enhancing topic. Until then, Hari Om.